There are moments in the video games industry in which a game publisher says something so utterly moronic and stupid that it becomes memorialized forevermore. And I don't have to tell you that EA's sense of pride and accomplishment Reddit response will forever live in our hearts to constantly remind us how full of crap this game publisher is. Now, EA, I'm sure they're hoping that people will eventually forget that this comment ever happened, because it is a point of great shame for the company. But this whole debacle has cropped up once more, thanks to the Guinness World Records. Turns out they're paying attention to what's going on in Reddit, and they've actually gone ahead and memorialized EA's Reddit comment, which currently stands and still maintains its record for most downvoted comment in Reddit history. The following information was relayed on Reddit. As you can see right here, a user posted a screenshot of the most recent iteration of the book, and there's a section entirely dedicated to Electronic Arts. This excerpt reads as follows. Most downvoted comment on Reddit. An official post by video games publisher Electronic Arts responding to players' complaints about having to unlock characters such as Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker in Star Wars Battlefront 2 2017 through loot boxes has 683,000 downvotes. Now, just as impressive, if you ask me, is the fact that this Reddit post, which was published yesterday on September 6th, alone managed to accrue 86.4 thousand upvotes in like a day, essentially. Less than a day. Just for highlighting this fact right here. And this isn't just the Star Wars Battlefront subreddit. This is the official Star Wars subreddit with 1.1 million members. And right now, this post right here is the top post. So people still remember what happened with Battlefront, hardcore gamers and Star Wars fans alike. And this is a situation that even a lot of casual gamers know about because it made such a huge splash. So this page right here lists all of the most downvoted comments in Reddit history. And as you can see, the comment from EA stands miles below everything else. The next most downvoted comment in Reddit is negative 88,000, almost negative 89,000. EA's comment has 600,000 more downvotes than the second most downvoted comment. Yeah, I don't think this is a record anyone's going to beat anytime soon. Then again, EA is known for their stupidity, their utterly moronic BS. So who's to say that they won't outdo themselves? We have seen them do it time and again, so it is not an impossibility. So for those who aren't too familiar with this story, it all began when people noticed during the Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta that it takes a ridiculous amount of time to unlock so much as a single hero. So if we scroll down here, we can see a too long didn't read segment that summarizes all the calculations made here. It all bogs down to, quote, Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker are locked when you first open the game. They cost 60,000 credits each to be able to play as either of them. Earning that amount of credits just by playing will take you 40 hours. Now that's 40 hours each, so to unlock both of them, it would take you 80 hours, and I actually made a video about this a long time back. As you can see, Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, 60,000 a pop. Leia Morgana, 40,000. Emperor Palpatine, 40,000. Iden Versio, 20,000. And Chewbacca, 40,000. So all of the original iconic characters, they are way up there. And 60,000, that's 40 hours. 40,000, that's like 25 hours. And 20,000, I believe that's about 13 hours. So we're talking over 100 hours to unlock all of these characters. Most of them icons of Star Wars. And these aren't just skins. And even if they were just skins, this would be ridiculous, but we are talking about gameplay elements, allowing you to play as Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader and use their unique abilities in a match. Now, eventually, EA did, after Backlash, reduce those numbers down to a quarter of their original price point, so 60,000 became 15,000, 40,000 became 10,000, and 20,000 became 5,000. So 40 hours became 10 hours, so on and so forth. But by then it was too little too late, and not to mention people still felt as though Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker and all of these iconic characters shouldn't be locked at all in the first place behind any kind of grind wall. And that ultimately led to this post. This Reddit post right here, which has a place in games history now. It has over 164,000 upvotes, and it reads, "Seriously, I paid $80 to have Vader locked?" Indeed, keep in mind that some people paid for these more advanced editions that cost more than $60. And EA's response to that was, the intent is to provide players with a sense of pride and accomplishment for unlocking different heroes. As for cost, we selected initial values based upon data from the open beta and other adjustments made to milestone rewards before launch. Among other things, we're looking at average per player credit earn rates on a daily basis, and we'll be making constant adjustments to ensure that players have challenges that are compelling, rewarding, and of course, attainable via gameplay. So that's an excuse that a lot of game publishers like to use. They'll tell you, well, you can technically earn this stuff via gameplay. Yeah, except in order to do so, you basically have to make the monetized game a second job, essentially. You have to play like 10 hours every day in order to unlock some of this stuff at a reasonable pace. It is just, from a time standpoint, in terms of the average Joe, not reasonable. Because the average Joe doesn't have time to spend 10 hours every day on a single game. They have a life. There are plenty of great posts here that shut down EA's awful excuse of a justification. So one comment reads, "That's rich. Just be honest. The truth is, very few people are going to sink a full work week into this game, and you're hoping that somebody is desperate enough to buy credits to unlock the character. It has nothing to do with providing a sense of pride and accomplishment. This is a flat-out lie, and you know it. How naive do you think your player base is? How naive does EA think the average human being is?" Another post responded, "Not good enough. Also, there is no pride with wasting 40 hours grinding for a hero only for the hero to be gimped from the go and require 300 more hours of grinding to make them heroic. You're just pushing the system to incentivize spending and for no other reason." Another user responded with, "Nope, that's not the reason. The real reason is that they want you to spend all your credits towards heroes so you won't be able to buy that many loot boxes with them, basically making the grind for loot that much harder and forcing players to choose between unlocking the main character of the Star Wars movies or getting star cards. They want you to use all your credits so you buy loot boxes. Sorry that the community sees right through the bullshit you're attempting to pass on us." And by the way, these comments all gained tons of traction. This one alone has 22,000 upvotes. This one right here, 13,000 upvotes. This one almost 20,000 upvotes. And there is more. This one has 32,000 upvotes. Come on, it's Luke and Darth Vader in a Star Wars game. Why on earth would you lock them? And then a user with 22,000 upvotes responded with, "If the unlock took maybe 2 to 4 hours, that would be fine. But this is essentially saying you don't need to pay, but if you don't, good luck." That's exactly right. If you don't pay, you're going to have an insufferable time with this title. This comment has almost 13,000 upvotes, and it reads, "I think the main concern out of anything is that you're charging £69.99 for a game that half the features are locked behind a paywall. I know you're going to say you can earn it, but 2 days to earn a hero which can be bought in 2 minutes pretty much counts as being locked behind a paywall." And then this user with 10,000 upvotes said 2 days worth of gameplay, not just playing a bit for 2 days. That's 48 hours, so if you just play like 3 hours a day, it would take 16 days to unlock Vader. Not all the heroes, just Vader. That's fucking bullshit. And then if you add Luke Skywalker on top of that, that's 32 days if you play 3 hours every day, so on and so forth. So all of these comments do a great job of highlighting the issue with EA's moronic sense of pride and accomplishment argument here. They do a great job of calling out the bullshit that was Star Wars Battlefront 2 at launch and during the beta. Now, after that whole debacle played out, EA proceeded by continuing with their piss-poor justifications. EA CFO Blake Jorgensen said back in November 28, 2017, that the reason they went with pay-to-win instead of cosmetics is because, quote, the one thing we're very focused on, and they're extremely focused on, is not violating the canon of Star Wars. Yeah, this is in a Star Wars video game where they take characters and settings from multiple movies spanning multiple generations and shoving them all together. So if you did a bunch of cosmetic things, you might start to violate the canon. Darth Vader in white probably doesn't make sense versus in black. Not to mention, you probably don't want Darth Vader in pink. No offense to pink, but I don't think that's right in the canon. First of all, nobody would give a shit if you actually introduced a white Darth Vader or pink Darth Vader in a game like Battlefront, where canon doesn't really even matter. Secondly, there's plenty of cosmetic elements to draw from in the expansive Star Wars universe to make a monetization system that strictly focuses on cosmetics without going too out there like with a pink Darth Vader. And EA knew this too, given that shortly after Blake Jorgensen's statement on not violating the canon, it was leaked that Star Wars Battlefront 2 has a hidden character customization system. And fast forward to today, and now all the microtransactions in Battlefront 2 focus strictly on cosmetics. So cosmetic-only microtransactions was always feasible with Battlefront 2. This is just EA playing coy, pretending like going pure cosmetics was this big deal to try to justify their pay-to-win antics. But it didn't work, obviously. You know, the average gamer, the average person with common sense could see clearly that EA was full of shit. Since the Star Wars Battlefront 2 loot box controversy, EA has tried to insist that they'll strive to do better, that they've learned from their mistakes, like in this article from April 13th, 2018 from news outlet The Verge. At the time, Patrick Soderlund said this: "We had the intent that was designed for us to have more people play it over a long period of time. And like a lot of other games on the market, to be able to afford to do that, we had an idea of getting returns from that. But at the same time, we got it wrong. We have to take action and show people that we're serious about building the best possible products, that we're serious about treating the players fair, and we're here to make the best possible entertainment that we can. And in the cases where we don't get it right, we just have to listen and learn from it and be better. Learn from it and be better." Right. Tell that to Anthem, a product that you rushed out knowing full well that it was in an unpolished state. Tell that to the FIFA franchise with its 1.7 user score. A result of this series having evolved into a casino with a soccer game on the side. Its main focus now is Ultimate Team and its card packs, which are just straight up gambling. And with every new release, it's just a half step forward. Not even a half step, a quarter step forward. They introduce these new FIFA games. Like each year, they're revolutionizing the soccer genre in video games, but it's just the same game every year with the gambling stuff evolved further and further. That's the thing about this whole debacle. People would be able to forget if EA showed tangible signs of improving, of changing, of becoming better. But they're the same company that they were back in 2017, back when they talked about a sense of pride and accomplishment. This is a company that continues to be a repeat offender. They have done nothing to garner trust. I'm glad that this making the Guinness World Records can garner 86,000 upvotes in less than a day. Because this stuff deserves this kind of scrutiny. It continues to deserve this kind of scrutiny because EA has not changed. EA continuously needs to be reminded of their disgraceful past and their disgraceful present. Until they change, until they truly become better, until they actually put their boilerplate statements and their fake sentiments into tangible action, until their vows to do better actually come to fruition, yeah, this is going to continue to be brought up. This is going to stay a topic of discussion and something that people will continue to look back at to remind themselves why Electronic Arts is a company that is not to be trusted. Or at least these are one man's take on all of this. I'd love to hear what your take is on Electronic Arts making the Guinness World Records in the comments below. I would say that EA certainly feels that sense of pride and accomplishment now. With that, I would like to end this news update and discussion video. Thank you for tuning in. To be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Yong Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Yong out.